Dakota Cade. You know who that is, Jim Equals?
I do.
Tell the folks who it is.
He's a tight end for the New Brighton football team.
And also defensive back. So we're taking care of both sides of the ball. Joe Grieco and the Lions getting ready to head to camp, and I'm sure we'll be talking about that as if we ever get any time to rest. Okay, listen, Dave Pascal, where are you going? Nowhere. You're going to talk some sports with us. Let's begin with the biggest and best news of all. How about those Pirates? Gregory Polanco out on the trading block. But guess what? His bat has come to life. McCutcheon's come to life. The team's come to life. Tyon gets the win today. They're 500, folks, and we have a pennant race in the Berg. They're just 3 games out of first place. They beat Milwaukee 3-2 today. How about those Pirates?
It's amazing. They got hot prior to the All-Star break, and they really kept it going afterwards. I think that was a concern with everybody, getting that, breaking that momentum with the All-Star break, but they've kept it going so far, and you know what? It's really been, sweeping the Brewers is just huge. And I really think, I think the big thing for the fans too is, I think it's really forced the management's hand as far as with the trade deadline coming. They're not going to be sellers. They can't afford to be sellers now. So I think that keeps Kutch here, that keeps Cole here, keeps Polanco here. So I think it's a good thing, and they are in the race. So,
everything that I said on the radio and here before the Milwaukee series, forget I ever said it. I'll be honest with you. I still think they need to do something, but they won't now, as Jim mentioned. He's the professional journalist. He's plugged in. He knows better than I. But even the average fan saying, why are you going to mess this thing up? Because they're flying down the track right now.
They are, but do you think there's anybody in the National League that can beat the Dodgers?
No.
not with that pitching staff.
Colorado's 11 games out, and they got 56 wins on the year.
Yeah.
That's a pretty good baseball team.
Yeah.
Well, we only have, 29 losses or something?
Yeah. So,
how'd they get so good so quick?
yeah, who knows? I mean, it's amazing. I think that's, the Pirates division is, that's helped them too. I mean, we're very excited about it, about what they're doing. But, the fact, the division they're in, and, with the Cubs not playing as well, St. Louis isn't playing as well, so that's helped a lot too. But I mean, we're not going to get forced in the mouth. It's great that they're playing well, and they're gonna be in the thick of things. David,
I just said, could anybody beat the Dodgers? If the Pirates are lucky enough to get closer to this division, can they beat the Cubs? Forget about the Brewers in St. Louis. Can they beat the Cubs?
Listen, I just want them to keep doing what they're doing. I would have been satisfied with a split, but a sweep, it's incredible to think about it. And just congratulations to everyone, especially to Clint Hurdle, who I have said from the very beginning, you're not going to find a better guy to manage this baseball team. And of course, 93.7 The Fan, tomorrow night, 8:40 at Coors Field, you can hear all the action. Now, Brooks Koepka can hit a golf ball, so can Jordan Spieth. But I bet they couldn't hit the Coke sign at Stop and Sock. Does anybody ever actually did that?
Lots of people.
Come on.
Oh, lots of people.
I wanted to see it once. Just tell the folks what I'm talking about. They have no clue in Guam what I'm talking about. Tell them what I'm talking about.
The Coke sign is out about...
Stop and Sock's a local driving range, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, the Coke sign is out about 175 yards. And you get a free bucket of balls if you hit it from the tee. And I've seen multiple hit multiple times on the same night. Not by me, but by other people. I did hit it one time.
All right, now listen, this is what you have, the Open Championship. The first one's in the book, and they'll be teeing off very early in the morning, Golf Channel, about 2 o'clock a.m. or thereabouts. You'll be able to tune in. You got Brooks Koepka, 500, Jordan Spieth, 500, both at opening round 65. And I got a whole bunch of names here. As I mentioned, but how about Matt Kuchar? He's also tied at 500, had an opening round 65. Talked a lot about how much time and effort he put into practice rounds before he headed to the Open Championship. Paul Casey is at 4 under. Also, Charles Schwartzel at 4 under. Ian Poulter's at 3 under. Justin Thomas at 3 under. Richard Bland at 3 under. Austin Conley at 3 under. Charlie Hoffman at 3 under. And it's Rafael Cabrera Bello. He is at 3 under. And Stuart Manley at 2 under. Alex Noren 2 under. And Hideki Matsuyama, my guy, the one I want to see win this thing, he is at 200. Observations, round 1, Royal Birkdale, the Open Championship.
well, I think just like in the golf tournament, tomorrow's really the big day. It's how you doing that second day as far as making the cut to get you to the weekend. So that's the day when people have to make a move. And, the guys that played well today have to continue. The guys that want to play into the weekend, they've got to up their game tomorrow.
I understand that tomorrow's supposed to be brutal from the standpoint of weather.
It always
lots
is.
Of wind, lots of rain, and the guys that can play the game will stand up tomorrow too.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, I got to admit, and I've said this to all the people that we've talked to this week, I've been all over the place, folks. Bob Ford said he was the only one who said you did not have to be a long ball hitter to do well at the Open Championship here. That surprises me, because usually at the Open Championship you have to be able to drive the ball a long way. But this is more of a strategic type of course than just smacking the golf ball. And the elements can be bad. They haven't been as bad as we've seen in places like St. Andrews. But one thing's for sure, you're going to have a little bit of power in your game if the winds start kicking up tomorrow.
Oh yeah, with the any of the majors, it's always the course they pick for any of the majors. It's the strategy. Like I said, the strategy comes in your short game. So, like you say, the big hitters maybe aren't going to have the big advantage. You're going to be those guys in that short game, that mid-range game as well.
On those links courses, though, it's not so much the loft as it is the roll. And the ball rolls forever in those links courses because there are not many obstacles to stop it. The fairways are cut very low, and the ball just continues to roll. Of course, you got the pot bunkers to contend with, and also the fescue if you're not hitting a straight ball. So, direction and your shots have to be right on target. You got to be straight in order to score well at those courses.
Now, Dick Shiner, the former Steelers quarterback, actually wanted this guy to catch passes for him, but he said, look, I think I have a career in the steel industry, so I'm going to have to pass. But a former New Brighton Lion, always at heart, Dave Pasquale, and of course Jimmy Eagles. We're talking Steelers football now. July 27th, rookies getting about ready to pack their bags. Antonio Brown, 106 receptions, second to Larry Fitzgerald. Some of the things he needs to work on include his blocking. Would you agree?
Oh yeah, I mean, and I think that's really within a receiver, since I think we were spoiled for years, obviously with Hines Ward, what he did here with the Steelers and stuff. But that's kind of an anomaly too. You're not going to see a lot of guys like that. But yeah, he could. Antonio Brown could really raise his game a little bit with the blocking. But he's obviously he's the best receiver in football. But can you imagine if he stepped up with the blocking, what that would do to his game?
You talk about Martavis Bryant and Antonio Brown, but the key and the thing that makes that team move, of course, is Roethlisberger.
Yeah.
My opinion is that he talks about retiring, and I think probably a year or two, maybe. I hope he does it before he hits a decline, because that's usually what happens. They overstate their ability, for lack of a better word.
Some people have said about my career that I'm like overstating. This is the decline, ladies and gentlemen. Martavis Bryant, could he help or hurt Antonio Brown?
I think he should be able to help him. I mean, obviously, look what he did his first 2 years prior to the suspension. I mean, he can really, he can stretch that field. He's a deep threat, and that's going to open up things for Antonio Brown. He's a deep threat too, but he catches that ball over the middle. He can do things, in the open field. So I think it's going to, spread things out a little bit, because you got to respect Bryant.
All right, slot receiver. This is for you, Dave Pasquale. He knows more than Steel, folks. He knows the Steelers. Slot receiver, Eli Rogers, Juju Smith-Schuster. Who do you think gets that position?
I think for all the advertisement he gets, I think Juju Smith-Schuster probably will be a backup to Rogers.
Okay. J.T. Thomas, you remember him, the great defensive back from 73 to 81. Steelers.com, memories of training camp. He said it was brutal. He didn't like it. And every time he passed St. Vincent's in his car, to this day, he floors it. He said these players today have no idea how tough training camp used to be, and I agree with that. They used to have no air conditioning anywhere, right?
Oh yeah. And I still don't think they have. I still think that the guys bring fans or air conditioning to Latrobe with them. So it's amazing that all the money they're making, and you see these millionaires carrying a box fan today for a month.
Let him spend the night in the Pratte Pack gym. He'll be begging for St. Vincent. All right, here we go. Pitt's offense. Now, James Conner, he's gone. Nate Peterson is gone. Big deal is this USC transfer, Max Brown. Can he be as good as Peterman?
Well, that's a big. I mean, he came out of high school as one of the top recruits in the country, and obviously, SC doesn't just pick up anybody and stuff now. Ended up losing his job last year to another freshman phenom. But I think I'd say if he lives up to the hype, and I think he's got all the talent in the world. And I think what's telling is he's coming into camp. Even though he's a transfer, they're not saying the quarterback job is up for grabs. He's number one on the depth chart. So I think I think Coach Narduzzi is looking at him as, look, you're the guy. So
You know how much I love Jim Eagle. I do. I love these guys from the Beaver County Times. All right, now for you, who replaces Adam Bisnowati and Dorian Johnson on the left side? This Justin Wee, obviously a good football player, but Quadri Henderson is the guy everybody's looking to be the best athlete on the team. 631 yards, 5 scores, averaging 10.5 yards. Then you've got Shantez Moss, Darren Hall going to be catching the football. But the defense is what you got to look at. Ewan Price is gone. Soto's gone. 43 sacks last year, 24 from Price last year. So I don't know how they're going to make that up. But the one thing I keep thinking about, shouldn't he have graduated 2 years ago? But it just goes to show you how young he was when he started to play as a true freshman. Jordan Whitehead is still there, still doing what the 5'11", 190-pounder did for Mark Lyons at Central Valley. He went out and he goes out and hits someone. 65 tackles with an interception. A key pick 6 against Virginia. We all remember that. So talk to me about the defense of Pitt. And as long as Whitehead is there, is it okay? Could be better, but is it okay?
yeah, he's the key. He's NFL caliber. Yeah, he's the next draft pick out of Beaver County. He's going to be the next person to go to the NFL out of the area. And again, yeah, he is definitely the key back there. He's the how he goes. I think is how the defense is going to go. It's going to be the year where he's going to be positive scene when he was a freshman. He stepped in the starting lineup, but he wasn't going to be that rah guy. Last year he was a little slow with the injuries, but this year, not only is he their best defensive player, but he's got to be the leader on that team out there.
I agree with you. It does seem like he's been there for about 5 or 6 years.
I looked at that today and I said, Junior?
Yeah.
Anyway, go ahead.
But I am extremely impressed with for mainly because in this day of specialty athletes, this guy goes both ways.
Yeah.
He's not a consistent offensive player, but he is in there
Right.
in certain packages.
And it's amazing when he goes on offense, he's getting the ball and he still makes something happen. So
He
that's
does.
yeah.
All right, show them this, Dakota. As you can see, this isn't mine. I actually copied this from Google today. So let me just tell you why I seem so smart. Pitt isn't better than Miami, guys, going into the season. North Carolina, Virginia Tech, and Georgia Tech. They're all good enough to win a division. But the Panthers have 3 huge things going their way. Clemson, Florida State, Louisville. They don't play any of the big 3 from the Atlantic, and a few of the big games in divisional play are at home, putting a little bit more pressure on them to win. So the schedule is very friendly and favorable for the Panthers.
Absolutely. The ACC schedule, the non-conference with Oklahoma State and Penn State, that's going to be tough. And they're going to play them 2 of the first 3 weeks, I believe. So I think we're going to get an idea of just how good Pitt is, and they're going to be tested early on. But luckily the ACC schedule, the way it falls, no Clemson this year, no Florida State, and no Louisville. So they are going to be tested early. Oklahoma State and Penn State. We're going to find a lot about them.
I think the one criticism I have of Pitt football is that I think they need to go out and do a little bit more recruiting out of Western Pennsylvania. They just seem to concentrate and attract, and for good reason. It's close to home for these kids,
And it helps the gate, too. I mean, let's be honest.
Sure.
But you're right.
but they do need to go deeper into the country. I think they need to be more like Florida teams, Southern Cal. Again, go up to your point about the quarterback, and Jimmy said that USC saw something in this kid, and these guys are recruiting experts. They don't know about the recruiting expertise of kids.
All right, in how much time is left on that? Where are we at there, Dakota?
14 minutes.
Just enough time to say thank you, and we have the decision. It's all over. Ladies and gentlemen, and the winner ain't me. I'm going home for the night. Dave Pasquale, the incredible talent, and yes, they don't come much better. TimesOnline.com, Jim Equals. From the Brighton Hot Dog Shop, I'll take some pasta chili to go. Good night, everybody.